Welcome to Made by Marley Week. Terry and I would like to show you another project that I have made with some of our new things from our new Autumn and Winter collection. So watch on and see what I've been doing. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you something to do with our new Christmas set of stencils. This set is called Sparkle. I'll give you a quick look at what is in it. There is holly and a small form Merry Christmas in case you're doing a small project. There is Santa and a Christmas tree. And I've managed to get them all stuck together, which is just so typically me. Okay. Oh, I'm snorting. There's a big form Merry Christmas because I think if you've got an A3 sheet, you're wanting something quite big. And I've got this Santa as well, which I really enjoyed, which I thought would make a really good sort of Warhol with different colours, which I'm going to do. I'm hoping that I get a chance to do it. So this, and lastly, is the one we're going to be using today, which is this one here. I have managed to get pink on it already, and I'm going to be using the elf from this set. Okay, so this is stencils. It's Christmas stencils, and they're called Sparkle. I'm not exactly sparkly, I'm actually full of the cold, hence the shawl. Completes the look. Right, okay, this little bad boy, what I did was, I'll turn it around so you can see it. I put this on a piece of card and I kind of did the general points of where my stencil was going to be and cut it out of this piece of cardboard, which enabled me to have a template. So once you've got your template, now you can do this with any of the Made by Marley stencils in this set. You can do exactly what I'm about to do, I would imagine. Just with this one, you do circular, but you just put it down and get a rough idea of what your shape's going to be. The Santa ones would look pretty good as well. So put your little elf guy down, and I've got two pieces of fabric put together here. Just some old curtain fabric that I had. I was thinking of tea stain in it, but I didn't get into that, so we'll maybe kind of just distress them with some paint. So I am going to be using hot glue today, only because not everybody has a sewing machine, and well, I'm just doing it. I've seen other people do it, and I've always kind of went, I think I'd rather sew it, but you can sew this if you so wish. So you get your general sort of wee shape of what you've made from your template, and then you get your schizzerinos, and you roughly, and I mean roughly, holding your two together so that it doesn't move. That's kind of pivotal. If you think it's going to move, put a pin in it, and that'll stop your fabric moving about. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants.
Winging it, as usual.
Yeah, I'm winging it, Martin. Winging it. Cut it out like so. Making sure that you don't, I've kind of went a little bit bigger there, but that's fine. I've done that in some of them. Now, next you're going to repeat this process quite a few times because you're going to need a hoop. Now, I had a hoop off the bottom of light shade. Tried to find it, I couldn't, so I sent Martin over to the studio stable and he came back me with this. It doesn't matter what your hoop's like. This is the ugliest hoop known to man. It's something to keep a lid on that you screw, but this is what we're working with today, and it won't matter as long as it's a hoop. So you're going to need a hoop. You're going to need some stuffing. Floof, as my daughter calls it. Jamie calls it floof. Right, so you're going to need some floof, and you're going to need a stencil brush, and you're going to need enough of your little cutouts that go all the way around your hoop. And I just roughly measured it. I might have elves left over, but that's okay. We can live with that. Now, I'm going to need my little stencil back. Put your floof to the side because it's unnecessary right now. Put your stencil down onto your cutout like so. Now we're needing a skin colour, so I'm going to put a little bit of yellow. Oh, that's quite a lot of yellow. A little bit of red. That's about the right amount. Oh, my white fell off the edge of the table earlier on. Sorry, Martin. Can you get it? I'll hold this and they can look at my beauty. I've I've got it. It's just done it so professional to the max. This mat and falls along the floor. I just remembered it fell off the side of the table anyway. This one here, babe. That one. Yeah. So I've got some old ochre, Annie Sloan's old ochre, which I'm going to put beside my red and my yellow and my white. And then you're going to need a paint brush to mix these together until you get a suitable sort of skin tone that you think is going to be fine for your little elves. Now I'm going to mix it all up because I'm going to be doing them all. I'm going to be doing the faces on all of them. I want them quite jolly, so I think incorporate a wee bit more of that yellow. There now. I think there's a bit of black in the brush. Or a green, I think, maybe. So there's the colour for your skin, and you're going to need I brought these out. You're going to need, I think first of all, what I'm going to do just to make my life slightly easier is I'm just going to chop my elf off of my bell, stick my bell over to the side, position him back there a minute. Now you can use tacky spray at this point if you feel that that's the way. I've got a small paintbrush that I'm going to use for stenciling his face, and I've got a bigger one. To be honest with you, you just need small brushes. I mean, you don't need anything huge here. So and then I'm going to offload it, and I am just going to do all of my little elves' faces and ears. Faces and ears. That's the remit. Like so. Now, I've never done this before, so I mean, I don't know. I've just thought it up and I thought it would work, but who knows. Right, okay, so there's his face, and I want to do him in green. So, get this other brush here, which is again is another paintbrush, because they're small. Hold him down quite nicely onto your fabric. This is where you need hands like an octopus. I don't think it needs to be, what would we say? You can have them kind of slightly distressed. Now, as I said, I think I'm going to put some maybe a little bit of dab of some brown on this at the end to kind of age him up a little bit. I want them quite, not primitive looking, but, you know, a little bit darker than he is. I don't want him looking so crisp. So there's his little hat done. Now, this isn't going to be his hat when we're finished. He's sort of frill round his thing because we're going to put some more fabric over that and stencil this again. But we'll put this on just so that it's got a double layer, if you know what I mean. Hair choice is completely up to you. I mean, you can go down any colour of your hair, whatever you fancy, really. There's not a... It's hard with fabric because you're tempted to want to put some water onto it to make your paint run, but then it would bleed, so we don't want that. So we're kind of doing a dab. We're not doing a swirly twirly. He's got a little bit of green whiskers on his chin now. We'll make him exciting. Hair, I think I'm going to go for black, so I'm just going to put a little bit black down. I'm not even going to bother with washing my brush from the green. I'm just going to go straight into my black, making sure I haven't got too much paint on. Back to octopus hands, and you're going to repeat this process. Well, I reckon I'm probably going to need about 10 to 12. You can see I really worked it out, didn't you? 10 or 12. If you feel you're going to go over, you can use a little bit of masking tape. I didn't decide to do that because why? Now, happy with that. I'm going to lift it off, and this is what you should have, minus that hair. Oh, do you know, sometimes there's a hair on it that I want to get off. That little pink green splodge that I just put in his face, I'm just going to eradicate. There we go. So you are going to repeat this process on all of your little shapes. So I'm going to go away and do that now and let them dry off, and we will come back and we'll start putting these on onto our hoop, okay? Right, so we've done this far, we've got this far. Now I've got some watered down cornflower on just a little tray, really water it down. And what you're going to do is you're going to go round your little elf. Now, it depends what stencil you pick out the pack, because really I was having a look at them, and you could do this with just about all of them, apart from the Merry Christmas typography. You're not going to, but maybe you could, I mean, if that's what you wanted to do. So I just wanted a sort of watery coloured background. As I said, I don't particularly want it too primitive, but I want it kind of rustic and a bit fun. So you go around it like that. Now, next you want to put on a little bit of, let's do the eyes first. Now, normally the eyes would be up here, but I want mine to be really super cute, so I'm doing them here, yeah? And a little bit of cheek action might help. Yeah, and I'm just dipping in my red to do a tiny little mouth, just like that. Now, with watered down Old Ochre, which is the cream, I am just going to kind of do a wee bit of, oh, it's really watery, bit of a stripe here, and down his little neck thing, his flourish, let's call it, his collar thing. Now, I was going to make another collar and glue them on top, but I thought I actually quite like this the way it is. So, and then once you've done that, you need to let it dry. Now, I have the rest of the elf army sitting here on the table. Here they all are, ready for action, and they are dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hoop. Now, I think the best way to do this is to glue to about just under his ears. So we're going to flap this back. Now keep your brown paint, because we're going to have to do the back at the end of the back of this fabric at the end. So to about here, I reckon. Get your hot glue. Sorry, Matty, my foof's going everywhere, my fluff. Right. Round the edges delicately, not the way I'm doing it. Hot glue to here. Pop it back down like that. Then get some of your stuffing. Get it all nice and not too lumpy. Open it up from this side down the bottom and stuff your top half. Yeah, just your top half to your ears, like so. Yeah, I think I'm going to need a wee bit more. And this is going to be the same for every single one. So he's nice and stuffed now. You're going to put it on your hoop, whatever kind of hoop you're using. Yeah. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take it to nearly the bottom. And I'm just going to run a bit of mega hot glue in there as well. And I stuff a bit in there where that ring is. And then I'm just going to close up the sides so that there's no stuffing hanging out. I had to kind of add that stuffing up near the ring because that's going to hold them together. Then you're going to stuff more in that hole at the bottom until he's nice and padded out. Now, this is a wee bit fiddly for a Wednesday morning, but you know, if you've got nothing better to do, then stuffing elves is quite good. I actually do have many more things that are slightly more important than stuffing this elf right now, but never mind, you know.
It's a Wednesday morning in September.
Yeah, stuffing elves. And then overstuff, and then just put some hot glue around your bottom edge and put your top and glue them onto your bottom like that. Then you can manoeuvre that fluff down the bottom. Now, every single one of these is going to go round in exactly the same way until I've got a whole hoop of elves. Then we'll come back and we'll start embellishing it and finishing it off, okay? Okay, so all my little elves are on. but obviously you can see the parts of the metal hoop. So what I've done is I got a red piece of, it was actually the hem that I'd sewn on that curtain that I made these with. I did red stripes and then I just cut it up in so it looks all sort of raggy. And basically, I think maybe I don't need too much because I want it to kind of stick out. So I'm thinking about this sort of length, start here. And I thought I would put this red in between because then it makes it a little bit more festive. Now, I've got the double part here because I'm really trying to hide where that hoop joined together. I think you're getting the picture. So these are going to go around here like this. And I'm going to tie those on. That's a rather thick piece. Might have to fix that one. So just putting this round the inside in between all of my little elves. Now, I will say it's a bit finicky. You're going to have to take your time on this. I'm so under pressure today for time, and so far today, this is all I've managed to achieve, isn't it, Mary? It's just always the way. These things take time if you want them to look good, so you just have to kind of go with the flow, I'm afraid.
There's the worst things you could be doing with your time.
There is, but I mean, I've got another about 6 videos to shoot. Yeah. So once I've done all of these and put these round here, because I've missed one.
Yeah.
Also, I have. I can go back and get that one, Mary.
Just telling you.
I know, you're great help.
Just being helpful.
Yeah. This was the colour of the ribbon. Right. It was too red and shiny and I didn't like it. So what I did was I got it and I dipped it into the watery brown paint. Yeah. And I'm just cutting a little part off and then kind of just do this with your nail and make the edges a little bit raggy. And then just get a rusty brown bell and tie that onto there like that. And these little rusty bells are going to be glued on here like this. And I've done some more. And I'm going to go on now, put on my my little bells and put my red painted fabric stripes. Oh, I don't want that glue on that little guy's face. Kind of put that bell up on his mouth. When we do the filming, don't film that one, Mary. Right, okay. I've got more of the bells to do, but this is how it's looking so far. And the next time you see it, you'll see it all staged out. I will need to take a piece of fabric and make a loop at some point so that I've got somewhere to hang it. I was going to paint the back, but I thought, you can be that pernickety and paint it. I might just do it. Oh, I can see a little bit there that needs glued as well. But that's how it looks. And I'm going to stage them out in a wee while. And this is a sort of raggy elf wreath made with one of our magical, splendid stamps, stencils. And this one here is called Sparkle, and it's from the Sparkle Collection. But you can do this with all sorts of the Christmas ones with stencils that we have in the Christmas and in the pumpkin. In the spooky set as well with the pumpkins. So there we go. Right, I'll get on and finish this off. So that's our little stenciled elf wreath finished. It's a little bit fiddly, but it's really good fun and I think it makes a really good impact. I think it's so cute. I mean, I don't normally go around saying that, but it's really cute. It makes me smile. And as I said, you could do it with any of our other stencils as well. Just, stencil them and then paint them and then, fill them up and put them on a wreath or make them stand up or make them into Christmas tree decorations. There's lots of different things you can do with stencils. But when I saw that one, I thought that'd be really cute. But it's a really cute one for signs as well. So there we have it. That's our little stenciled elf wreath complete. And I will see you tomorrow.